My brother Jason is 2.5 years older than I am. Here's Jason on stage in New York in July 2004. And here's Jason 8 months later.
Being filmed. Okay. Anything you want to say to the camera? Good morning. Hi. Can you get your voice going? Can you say hi? Louder. Excellent. Wow.
So what happened? August 4th, 2004, Jason was on stage in a club called Shanae in New York City. And in the middle of a song, a blood vessel in his brain burst. At the hospital, the attending neurosurgeon told me, my mother, my father, Jason's wife, Monica, who was at the time 2 months pregnant, that Jason probably would not live through the night. And even if he did, his neurological prognosis was very poor, meaning that the Jason we knew and loved was gone. And when I heard the doctor say this, I fell into a chair and I started to cry. I started to bawl, really. I mean, I was groaning. For me, Jason had always been there. And to imagine life without him was crushing. He did live through the night. The bleed in his brain had been caused by an arteriovenous malformation, basically a malformed blood vessel which ruptured. But then an infection turned into meningitis, which sparked seizures, which rolled into status epilepticus. So Jason was in a state of continual ongoing seizures without coming back up to consciousness. So the doctors induced a coma to break the seizure cycle, calm Jason's system down, and that worked. But this was days, stretching into weeks, stretching into months in the neuro ICU. And so every day my family and I showed up, bracing ourselves for another round of catastrophic news. We lived in this horrible, strange state of suspended fear. You know, every time the phone rang, I was positive that it was news that Jason had died. Inside, I felt very small, frightened. I thought, maybe if I just stay still, this will go away. But on the outside, my family and I, my parents, Monica and I, one of us was always with Jason. We showed up, you know, we read the newspaper every day to him. We read books by authors that we knew Jason liked, and we played music, not just any music, but music carefully chosen from his collection, genres we knew he would like classical Indian music and the American blues. I can remember pushing my hand under all of the lines that were going in and out of Jason so I could wrap my arms around him so he wouldn't forget what it felt like to be embraced. And we said, I love you. And we kept our minds open to every possibility. So when the New York hospital suggested that Jason be moved to a nursing facility, we said no. We felt like, not yet. We managed to have Jason admitted to Spaulding Rehabilitation Hospital in Boston. I quit my job, sublet my Brooklyn apartment, and moved here to help him full time. Boston was attractive also because my sister-in-law, Monica, who was pregnant, her family lived here, and they could help her with the baby, who in fact was born just about 3 weeks after the move. So let me play you another video. This is from Spalding. This is about 7 months following Jason's initial bleed.
Okay, Jason, I want you to grab the blue one, okay? Can you give me the blue beanbag?
Yes, you could step back just a little bit. I just want to get a shoulder sense.
Good. Give it to me over here.
All the way up. Go.
Nice. Okay, grab the purple one. Yeah, do it. Work, Jay. Good. Push yourself up tall with this arm and reach forward with the right. Nice. Okay. Now I want you to grab a yellow one. Grab the yellow one on the far right. Okay. Grab the yellow one on the right.
Ready? Go.
Here's the left, and then here's the right. Can you grab the yellow one on the right? All right, how about just grab a yellow one?
And now I'd like to introduce you to the same man in these videos, my brother, Jason Crigler.
Hey, you guys. So I'm still alive. And these videos you're seeing happened during a time from the night that the injury happened for a year and a half after that point. I have no memory of anything. So all this stuff you're seeing, I don't have any memory of. So you can imagine how strange it was the first time I saw this, seeing myself do all these things I can't remember doing, and I don't look very well. Although I do remember I liked my haircut. I want to show you guys another video, and this really illustrates why it was so incredible that I had my family so involved in my care, because they knew me and they were able to pick up on signs that a doctor or a therapist might miss. If you watch this next video, you'll hear Margaret, the speech therapist, ask me, "Are you a musician?" And she's trying to get me to nod my head up and down, and I'm unable to do this. But if you look and listen very closely, you'll see me start to smile ever so faintly. And this is the kind of thing that my family would be able to pick up on that someone who didn't know me as well might miss.
Can you show me a yes, head nod, up and down? Are you a musician? Show me yes. That's real small. I'm going to show you how I feel, okay? That was a yes nod, but you need to go like this. Just like that. Not a lot of it. All right, let's try it again.
I was an inpatient in 4 different hospitals for a year and a week. After that time, I came home. And when I came home, it was really difficult. Keep in mind, there's still like 5 or 6 months after I got home that my memory, my short-term memory is still not working. But I was incredibly thin. I was weak. I couldn't walk in a wheelchair. Everything was a struggle. I needed to have people around to help me get up in the morning, to bathe, to eat, to get to doctors and therapy appointments. And that's just the physical element of it. But then on top of that, there was the emotional weight of having lost all this memory and all this time. For a long period of time, I wasn't even able to process or acknowledge what had happened to me. My brain was working so hard to just recover basic functioning that I didn't feel any emotions whatsoever. I didn't feel sad or angry or anything about anything, and I had no concept of what had occurred, this huge injury, and that I'd missed all this time. until the day came where it suddenly hit me that I had missed my daughter Ellie being born. Realizing that I had missed such an important event in my life, and not only that, I'd missed her first months of life, and I'd missed the months leading up to the birth. Of course, I say this to other dads, and they're always like, oh, you didn't miss anything. You didn't miss anything. But I would have liked to have been there. You know, luckily for me, this changed from feeling sad and depressed about this into a source of motivation. You know, Ellie was this incredibly beautiful child who I wanted to be in her life, and I wanted to go through her life with her, and I was determined to recover to be able to do that. And so this thing actually became this incredible motivator for me to recover and pull myself out of the huge hole that I felt myself in. This whole experience, there's no way to go through something like this and not have it change your way of looking at everything. And I think for me, it's really changed the way I think about family and what a family is. You know, when I talk about family, I'm of course talking about my core family, my wife and my parents and my sister, but I'm also talking about my extended family, Monica's parents and step-parents.
And a lot of them divorced, remarried, conflicting personalities, nevertheless figuring out a way to work together.
And so there's that component, but there's also other people that I include in my family of people who helped me through this. I include the nurses and the nurses' aides who helped me day after day to get up in the morning and get dressed and get showered. The daily grind of doing this, months after months of doing this to help me get going every day. I include the musicians who asked me up on stage again with them at a time when, you know, it was a struggle for me to even stay up past 8 o'clock at night. They were asking me to come sit in when they were coming through town and stuff. This was incredible to get me to the next point. And so these people are a part of this family also.
And this definition of family also includes the doctors and the clinicians and the therapists who had the willingness to try everything.
And I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm also including in this definition, we're creating a family, I'm including the doctors who said that I wouldn't walk again, that I wouldn't speak again, and that I probably wouldn't play the guitar again, because their words made me determined to prove them wrong. So I'm including them in this as well.
Many factors went into Jason's successful recovery. World-class medicine, state-of-the-art technology, a good dose of luck. But what really made the difference was the people.
After I was home for a little while and I started to pick up the guitar again, it was extremely difficult to play. I would just be in pain after 5 or 10 minutes. My hands were so tight, I couldn't play, and this was really another source of depression confronting this issue, but I worked very hard at it. Writing a song just seemed impossible, and I had written tons of songs in the past, but I was in a state of being so fragile and so vulnerable that I just didn't have any confidence that I could do it, and it was something that I worked really hard at. And I'm going to play for you guys the first song that I wrote at that time. And it's an important song to me because it's with this song that I really was able to show myself that I can still do this. The books on the shelf, some straight up and down, blankets of dust, fingered but left untouched, fingered but left untouched. Picturing positives, I think that works. just the opposite of carrying stones to church. Carrying stones to church. I lost my voice in the forest. I fell down on my knees, tried to make a sound. My body on a tightrope made of light. Where is the earth today? What if I fall today? The books on the shelf, unraveling pages. The poem I wrote, stuffed in the cracks and left. Stuffed in the cracks and left. Stuffed in the cracks and left. Thank you.